Okay, well this is what I built. This bucket is like 13 inches from outside to outside and around 12 inches on the inside. And this is 2 foot across. And there was a guy on YouTube did something similar to this, but he come off of here and come out here and drill a hole. And then I seen another guy with one kind of like this, but it was a ripper. And all he did was put a ratchet strap on it. Well, once it sits down on those 3 teeth, there's 3 teeth underneath here. Once it sits down on those, and you've got it boxed in and it's really tight, it can't really go anywhere, so all you need is something to kind of hold it in place. Because I'm not going to be digging with this or anything. It's just going to be for once you dig a ditch or whatever you're digging, just to pull the debris back into the hole. So it's all going to be downward pressure and forward pressure on this plate right here. You know, on this right here, it won't really be anything like digging going on. It just be pulling. So I don't think I need nuts and bolts, and if I break a ratchet strap, I got plenty of them. I think it's going to be a pretty neat deal. I think I'm going to do the exact same setup. And I was at my mom and dad's house, and dad had this thing right here laying out at the barn. It's I don't know what it is, and he doesn't know where it came from. So I'm thinking about doing kind of the same thing and making me something out of this. I haven't even put a tape measure on it yet, but it's wider than my finger. It's thick, really thick, and I'm going to make a root ripper out of that. I've got a few areas where I'm going to be digging that are close to some trees, and I thought, man, that might be handy. I haven't put a tape measure on that or anything yet, but once again, boy, you can make a mess when you start doing this stuff. I'm sunburnt and about ready to go in the house for the day, but this will be I think my next weekend project, building this. And I just got through the last thing I had to do to this thing other than paint it, and I normally don't paint things. I paint things for a living, so I hate to paint things on my own. But I blew me a hole right here. There's a guy on YouTube called Pete's Tools. He mostly deals in plasma cutters. And if you just try to blast a hole straight through that, it'll blow gunk back up into your plasma cutter and mess up your tip. What you do is and Pete showed me how to do this, you lay your tip down like this, and then just gradually bring it up, and then you pierced it. Then you can make your hole, and it works really good. And I'm all for giving credit where credit is due. That's not the most perfect hole, but it beat the heck out of sitting there for 15 minutes with a drill bit and trying to get through this thick steel. So that's my project for this weekend, and I've about had all the fun I want for this weekend. I think I'm gonna call it quits and go in and watch some YouTube or something like that. Thank you guys for checking in with me, and I hope you like this. And like I said, this is a 4-month review. The little plasma cutter, it's done really good. I found that if you have it over 80 pounds of air pressure, or at 80 pounds of air pressure, it does not cut as good as if you're about 70. It seems like around 70 pounds, or even a little bit less than 70 pounds, it seems like it cuts better than it does if you have the air pressure jacked way up. I thought with this thicker steel, I might want to move it on up to 80. It didn't cut as good. I put new consumables in, and I actually lowered the air pressure. And actually, I figured that out on accident. My air tank, I've got this big old air tank over here. It runs off the same plug-in as my plasma cutter, so I have to swap back and forth. And it got down to a lower pressure, and so I was cutting. I was like, man, this thing's cutting better on lower pressure than it is on the higher pressure. So I aired the air tank back up, lowered the pressure on my plasma cutter, and it helped. Yeah, I think it really helped. I don't know why, but it does. Maybe it's blowing the flame out or something. I don't know. But y'all have a good one, and thank you again.